Hi, my name is Lindsay Combs. I'm going to do my questions for intimate apparel. The first question is to pick a memorable moment from the play, and a memorable moment for me was when Esther was talking with Mr. Marks, her supplier of fabric, and she touched his hand, and he freaked out because that's against his religion. I thought that was kind of strange to see that different aspect. So that was my answer for the first question. Question 2 is to point out 3 major points of conflict or tension in the play and kind of what they represent. So the first point of contact or conflict would be when George and Esther are alone in their bedroom after they got married. It was kind of weird because she had never done anything before, and it was kind of weird because he seemed like such a nice guy, but then he was kind of forceful with it. It was kind of strange. But sorry, I have someone filming this, and he's never read it, so he thinks it's weird. And that kind of represents women's oppression in relationships, even that still goes on today. So that's sort of a tension that represents. Another point of conflict would be when Esther, like I said, when Esther touches Mr. Marks on the hand and he freaks out. That kind of represents the, I don't know, I guess the stigma against people of different races or religions being, having any sort of relationship together at that time. So that was what that represented. And then when Mrs. Dixon tells Esther not to marry a man that doesn't have a good job or a lot of money. That was kind of awkward because, today it's like, oh, you should really marry for love, but then there's another woman saying, you have to marry, if he has this bad job, then it means you're going to have to pick up the slack. And so that was kind of an awkward point of tension, and that represents women's oppression in society. If they didn't really have a man to pick up the slack, there's a lot of extra work that they have to do. So that's question 2. Question 3 is, does the play reinforce, resist, or reinvent the understanding of the African American existence or experience? And I would have to say that it resists it in a way, because it talks about the different stereotypes of the race in that time, but didn't shine a good light on it. Kind of showed the hardships that people of race had to deal with at that time. And so I wouldn't say that it reinforced it. I mean, I guess it reinforced it that they exist, but it kind of resisted it in a way that it wasn't right. So, question 4 is, do these stereotypes still exist? What perpetuates them, and what helps to overcome them? And obviously, I would say stereotypes still do exist. I would say that film, movies, and just pop culture can sort of perpetuate them, and keep them going, keep them existing. And what helps to overcome them, I think, would be just putting yourself in other people's shoes, and really thinking about things from another person's perspective. So those are my questions for intimate apparel. Hopefully you like it. Thank you.